This summer's long, dry summer, or the year's long, dry summer, thought to be behind a little-known phenomenon. Have you heard about this? Which sees our trees basically plunged into overdrive and means that they are much more fruitful, so they produce more nuts and seeds and fruits than usual.
Yeah, and all these amazing images, because it's a so-called mast year, and it's an evolutionary survival strategy, apparently, in nature, designed to kick in when a tree is stressed. What it does is mean it ensures the survival of the next generation. Peter Wilson can explain.
The trees at Bodenham Arboretum in Worcestershire were getting some much-needed rain. It's not been quite as bad as 1976, but the long, dry weather this year has stressed these trees. It's meant a bumper crop of berries and fruit. The collective term for a tree's fruits and seeds is called a mast. And when we have an overabundance of this type of thing, it's called a mast year. James has worked here for more than 50 years and says that the trees in 2025 have never had it so hard.
When a tree is stressed, and it can be stressed because of drought, there's a thought that it sort of thinks that it's dying and it overproduces in seed. And this year we have got lots of seed, acorns, berries, the trees are plastered.
All those acorns are going to be great for the squirrels. It's also good news for the kitchens at the Arboretum. The apples are going straight from the trees to the pies in the local restaurant.
We've been able to use our fruit off the land here rather than normally in the past. We normally order all our fruit in, so we've been able to go and pick the apples, pick the damsons, bring them straight back into the kitchen.
It's a rural tradition to say that plentiful fruit and berries is a predictor for a long, hard winter. But James is looking on the bright side.
The chlorophyll in the leaves of the trees work with the sunshine, and then when the sap goes down, it leaves the pigments of red and yellow. So I would predict a really good display of autumn colour this year.
It takes a lot of energy from the trees to produce this overabundance, but hopefully it will mean more trees in future years.
Peter Wilson was our reporter there. Well, we're joined now by the author of All Things Nature, Tristan Gooley, who is perfectly autumnal in his colours here before us. Lovely to have you with us.
Thanks.
Let's talk colours first of all, shall we? Because we've been told that there might be really beautiful leaves on the trees this season, particularly vibrant. Why is that? What's going on?
Yes, well, what we find is that when people are saying the leaves are changing, they're sometimes missing that it doesn't all change at the same time. So if you look at the thirstiest part of a tall tree, look up the top on the southern side, you've got a colour compass there. And we find very, very rich colours. What we find is autumn comes to the top and then moves down. But when trees are stressed, the colours get better as well. So it's a magical time of year. It's the best possible time to spot some of nature's signs.
So talk us through what those signs are. You've been taking some pictures, haven't you? And you're going to start with the trees, because, you know, those are the things we're looking at here. So what is this and what does this tell us?
Yeah, this is it. You know, if we get out there today and just have a look, what you'll notice is that you'll spot autumn before other people do, if you know to look for this one sign.
Right.
And in natural navigation, we call it the colour compass. I mean, in the book, I talk about all the different ways that we can spot autumn coming early and in the different parts of trees. But this is the one I'd recommend to look for today and over the next few days.
Go to the top of trees. And then there's the leaf litter compass. What's that?
Yeah, so as soon as the leaves are falling, we find the wind shepherds them and moves them around, of course. And where the wind can't get to, they gather. There's a wind shadow, normally on the northeast side of the trees, because our winds come from the southwest. So we find these little pockets of leaves, as we can see there, and that can make a compass for you too.
So away from the leaves and the trees, the clouds, if we look even higher, these are incredible. I've not seen these very often. What are they?
These are mare's tails. This is a photo I took yesterday.
Right.
And
Where was this?
This was just from my home near West Sussex, in West Sussex, yeah. And what we're seeing here is one of the signs our ancestors would have known. And there are so many. I go through many of them, but if you see mare's tails like this, you can see why they're called that. Or a pattern that looks a little bit like a mackerel skin. Some people say mackerel scales. Both of those are warning of change in the weather, and we've seen that arrive already.
And then this is a familiar sight, mist in the valleys. I love this. And as someone who drives to work early in the mornings, quite often have the treat of seeing this across the fields as I drive through.
Yeah, well, my whole sort of approach is that things are both beautiful, but they have a sign and a clue within them. And mist is a great example because it gathers where there's cool air. And cool air is heavy and it moves down to the bottom. So mist is actually making a map. It's telling you where the lowest parts are. And if you walk down into a mist, you'll feel the temperature change.
And tell us about animals, the cows. What are they telling us here?
Yeah, well, animals are no fools, and they're out there a lot. So when we have cooler weather come in, we find at the start and the end of the day, animals like these cows will turn side on to the sun because it gives them more warmth. But the key really is every single thing you see outside, particularly at this time of year, is a clue. And if you just get out there, the next thing you see just go, what is the clue? What's the sign?
I, like many people, am terrible because I walk every day, I have a dog, but I still am sometimes stuck to my phone as I'm walking, either taking messages or calls. This is about putting the phone away and just trying to observe what's going on around you a bit more.
Yeah, totally. So the book is all about giving you the things that are too tempting to resist. You know, the phone is tempting, but once you know the clues and signs to look for, every little thing out there will reveal something about the season, but can also tell you direction. You can forecast the weather. You can make maps.
OK.
I'm fascinated by sort of nature's survival tactics here, a massed year. So it's like more berries, more seeds, and that's all about, like, this year's been a bit tough. Here's how I make sure next year's OK.
Yeah, that's right, but it also helps because it swamps the environment. So anything that was going to eat those nuts or berries, there's too much. There's a glut. So wild pigs, you know, would eat all the acorns if there was the same number each year. But if there's a masked year, then we find that there's some left over.
Yeah, there are so many acorns. Can I just complain about the blackberries this year? Although I have also been told that some of them were lovely and delicious and plump, but I found them very small, very difficult to pick compared to previous years. They obviously came very early, didn't they?
Well,
what was your blackberry experience?
Well, I think the fantastic thing is that you are noticing things, and then if you just pause and go, what's the clue? What we find is with blackberries, there's a taste compass there. So on the south-facing side of any path, they'll be sweeter and they ripen earlier.
Yeah, OK. I just want big, fat, plump blackberries. I'm sorry.
Loads of people sending their pictures. You can cast your eye over these as well, Tristan, if you will. Loads of you sending in what you're looking at this morning.
At that,
take a look at this one. Where is that?
That is Linda in Brading on the Isle of Wight. She says she's never seen berries on this. Oh, it's a holly tree. It's berries, not apples. I need to get my glasses on. And that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's a really good example. In the book, I talk about something called the narrowing, and that's where, as it gets cooler and tougher for the animals, it gets easier for us to understand where they'll be.
Okay.
So the birds know where they can find a late feast, and they home in on these berries.
This one's from Prestwich in Manchester. We don't have a name, but thousands of conkers, they're saying, in and around the woods there. You see, again, it's that idea, put out all of these seeds and nuts. Right?
Yeah, definitely. And you know, where they're falling is you know, it makes the kids stop. It should make us stop as well.
Honestly, they're joyful. They're like little jewels in the ground, aren't they? And then this bush absolutely brimming with berries.
Wow.
More berries than leaves, almost.
Yeah. We, you know, every time we see something that catches our attention, you just pause and go, what's it telling me? What's the message it's whispering? And we get more flowers and then more berries.
That
on
one
the
ain't
south
whispering, that's shouting.
Yeah.
Tristan, thank you so much. It's a lovely thing to talk about, and we will pay more attention. Tristan Gooley, author of The Hidden Seasons. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.